What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Konquer Fit Podcast. Once again, I am your host, Chad Kratz. It's my co-host, Mr. Jeffrey Brandt. You guys may have noticed that we have been on a slight hiatus.
Yeah, a long one.
A long one. Unfortunately, along with this thing called fitness and along with this thing called a podcast that we started to do just for fucking fun, unfortunately, some things in life tend to happen in that meantime. So today, we are going to touch base on a few things. I know we joke around quite a bit with you guys, but today we're going to get a little bit more serious. Yeah. So Jeff, we've been back on your health journey for, I'd say, the better part of a year. October to almost October, better part of a year. But recently here, on top of the you coming back from fitness and you coming back to kind of a level that you want to be at, you've had a lot of life trauma hit you. How are you navigating that and trying to maintain normalcy? Because life is going to happen, right? And we can't, unfortunately, because life is just going to happen, we can't allow that to deter everything else as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, and for the people that actually follow the podcast, the 36 subscribers that we have, they're all either friends of yours or friends of mine. So
absolutely.
My father passed away unexpectedly. He had been battling stage 4 lung cancer for 6 years, went in the hospital, and just didn't come back out. So very unexpected, heart-wrenching, whole 9 yards. He's my best friend. I only got a handful of them. One of them was this asshole.
Me.
So, it has been shitty. And so I was at my mom's house, my dad's house as well, for 16 straight days.
Yeah.
Living out of my camper. And there is a gym nearby, and so I did get a 1-month gym membership to that gym, right? But I think I went in those 16 days, I went 4 times. Right?
Yeah.
And so I even texted Chad, I said, hey man, when this is all said and over with, I'm gonna need some help, right? Like mentally, physically, whatever it is, I'm just gonna need some help getting back and having that accountability. When life isn't happening to you, right? Accountability for me has been pretty easy.
Yeah.
Because I just look in the mirror, I'm like, I don't like what that looks like, we're gonna fix it, blah, blah, blah. And even before this happened, you and I have been having some conversations just about my nutrition and whatnot, and trying to change a few things here and there just so I don't have these, instances where I'm fucking starving.
Yeah.
Right? And so we are actually working on changing those, and then this happens. And my dad had over 500 people come to his visitation.
Which is amazing.
So as you can imagine, the amount of food that had been brought to my mom's house has been astronomical. And
let's face it, probably not the healthiest of foods.
No. I mean, we had some people that they were very cognitive of what they were bringing, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
When you live in a town of 5,000 and you've got a McDonald's, a Subway, and a pizza joint, their options for having something delivered are
very limited,
right? So I will tell you though, I got the best sleep that I've had in a year, sleeping in the bed in my camper, because I had purchased a mattress because I knew we were gonna do a lot of camping. I'm like, man, I need a better mattress in there. And I told you, man, this first week back in my home bed, I'm like, I wish I had my camper mattress. So we went ahead and bought that. It should be here tomorrow or something.
Very cool. Very cool.
But yeah, dude, so I am going through the ups and downs right now. Like this week back at the gym, there's been times where I've been able to have conversations with you and some of the other gym patrons, and it's been okay. And then, yesterday we had to put down our dog of 15 years. That's been my dog. So it's like yesterday I came here, I don't want to talk to anybody, right?
And if we're talking compounding loss, holy crap, man.
So it's like I'm going through that grieving process and haven't really had to grieve yet because I'm trying to get things done for my mom, my brother, my sister, my niece, my wife, my
You're
kids,
in business mode.
So it's like I haven't had that chance to sit down yet and be like, shit, all the emotions are gonna hit me, right? And I have a plan for when that's gonna happen, but you don't get to choose when you grieve. It just hits you.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's probably going to hit you like the dam breaking, you know? It's just going to kind of collapse and you're going to feel it.
It's going to be some shit, right? But, you know, as we were driving back to Iowa on Sunday, we got back on Sunday at, 6 p.m. I worked all week and I wanted to go into work so I could have some sense of schedule to get my head away from what lies in front of us and whatnot. But
some sense of normalcy.
Yeah, and I told Holly, I said, I'm going back to the gym because I don't like how I feel at the moment. My clothes still fit, but I just don't like how I feel. And, some of the people that I have really good relationships with are at the gym. And so, I'm not going to sit there and repeat the story of what happened 15, 16 different times. If someone asks me, I'll have a brief conversation about it, but it allows me to get back into just that everyday life. Hey, we were just talking about M's new song that came out this morning, right? So
yeah.
It allows those types of conversations to take place because whether or not I want to admit it, like losing a parent, in most instances, that's how life should be, right? As a child, you should bury your parent.
It's the normal course of life as we see it, yeah.
Now, my father is only 62.
And looking at pictures, it looks like a generally healthy man.
Yeah, besides the cancer, was in pretty good shape otherwise. So, that just really sucks thinking that, I only had 36 years with my dad, and there's still so much that I wanted to learn and wanted to do with him, right? So, I needed to come back to the gym, dude. And, even this week, altering my food, my nutrition this week for what I normally do, right? I have my breakfast that's 300 to 400 calories. I have my lunch that's 336 calories every lunch. And then just getting that dinner in. And I mean, this week, I took the girls for ice cream once or twice because that was her grandfather. Right? Yeah. That was my wife's father for 17 years because her father's been non-existent. She has a great stepdad, but her dad's been, is what it is.
Yeah.
And, her and I, we had been talking about all these different things. And before we had even left for this, we had plans that, hey, she wanted to start having child watch hours here at Konquer Fit. And, she's like, man, I just feel so bad because we haven't been able to get to this next part of what her goal is and trying to help out Konquer Fit and help you out. I'm like, it shitty that we haven't been able to get to that. But then I come back and I see that it's painted. I'm like, all right, cool, dude. That's sweet. There's some drywall work that's done. I'm like, all right, that's awesome. I appreciate that, Chad. You're a good man, dude. So it is what it is.
Well, and I can tell you, if obviously the people on here are our friends and people that we know closely, but for the people that are new to listening and the people that don't know the character of this man standing next to me, sitting next to me, this man's world crumbled literally in front of him. And I got a text message, and I kid you not, this is exactly what the text message said. Hey man, my dad just passed away. Man, I apologize, we haven't been able to do the podcast, but we'll get back to that as soon as I'm back. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what in the actual fuck are you apologizing to me for? But that shows you the character of this gentleman that's sitting next to me and why we've decided to do this thing. Because ultimately, above all, man, you are always thinking about everybody else. And I think, every gym has the gym mom. And I would say you're like our gym dude. Because someone comes in and they're like, yeah, man, I just fucking paid $1,600 for brakes. And this motherfucker's like, skirt. Hold on, motherfucker, you did what?
Yeah.
Hold on. I got parts in the truck. Let me go ahead, and you're the first dude to offer up help, to offer up assistance, no matter what's going on in your own life. And I think that shows a massive kudos to your character and to your father's character for raising a guy that no matter what he's going through is the dude that steps up and comes to the plate. And I think that's amazing. So I wanted to interject in the middle of that story, and I wanted to say that. So,
and that's how I was raised, right? And that's something that I will continue to carry out for the rest of my life. I'm hoping that being blessed with 3 daughters, that's something that they will do as well. When this place first came available and you came and walked through, I'm like, dude, financially, I probably can't help you all that much with the daughters and whatnot, saving for your future right now, but blood, sweat, and tears, I will do whatever I can to help you succeed here.
Yeah.
Right? And so, one of the reasons I want to do this podcast, and we've talked about this, it's not just for you and I to sit here and talk about, oh man, we're such great human beings, blah, blah, blah. I would love for people to comment on these videos and tell us what they want to hear about, right? It just doesn't have to be about fitness, but I like being able to talk. There's other podcasts in the area and whatnot, but I think one thing that we can say that we're genuine, you're not going to sit here and be like, I've had Konquer for 25 years and I've done this and I've done that.
Yeah.
I've had it for 12 years and, I started off working another gym and, I just, integrity goes a long way, right?
It's been a process,
Yeah.
And I think that's, I think besides the hours I put in here, I think almost to a T, you can match me hour for hour here.
It's sometimes, once again, it's something that I'd like to do, and like if my career would have went a different path, it would have went fitness related, right?
It would have aligned in some way, shape, or form.
So the fact that, I get to come in here and work out and we get to do this podcast, and then potentially I'm not gonna say potentially, my wife, when she opens up this child watch area, which is right behind this door, there's walls. I have the door in my truck. Like that.
There's a floor coming at some point.
She has aspirations that's going to lead to something bigger and better for even her that would help her line more to a fitness related industry career, right? So I just look at, what can I, if I'm being selfish, what can I do to position my family to be in a better spot? And I think, having her partner with you, that's going to help my family. Right?
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of mode we've done here at Konquer Fit. We all kind of help each other through the things in the life. As we've talked about, a lot of the time, personal training sessions become therapy sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had sessions where we did not lift one weight, and we sat there, and the client, whether no matter what was going on in their life, they cried, they emoted, they got out the thing that they needed to get out so that they could do the thing they really wanted to do, which is lift the goddamn weights.
Yeah.
But sometimes we got to get those hurdles out of the way, and that's why I wanted to talk about kind of what you've been going through and getting some of those hurdles out of your way, right? And not that they're hurdles that we're trying to get out of the way, but grief in all intents and purposes is a motherfucker.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Right? Because you and I kind of see things the same way, and I'm kind of like, when shit hits the fan, where's the logic and what's the business? Mm-hmm. I need to, who do we need to call? What do we need to do? Who's the thing? Who's the guy? Who's the this? Who's the that? And I think you think about it the same way.
It's a business, right? At that point, I just want to make sure that everybody else is taken care of. All the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. My mom has owned a business for 35 years, right? And she loves what she does, but it's not exactly lucrative, but she absolutely loves it. And so now my thought process is, how do I make sure that my mom is taken care of? Because my dad was a sole provider.
Yeah.
Right? So there's all those things that go through my mind. And, I'm in here and I was benching on Monday and I was just doing dumbbells. I'm like, I don't even know how much weight that was, right? Because I'm thinking about all these other numbers that are going on right now.
Yeah.
Like, how many reps was that? Was it 12? Was it 14? Was it 3? I don't even know, right?
With all the numbers rolling through, he was like, was that 200,000? Did I do 200,000 reps?
Yeah.
That's crazy shit.
And I don't know why, but this week I tracked all my food on a piece of paper. I didn't track it in the app. I just wrote it down when I was at my desk. So it was just kind of like, things were just kind of backwards, right? But I wanted to get back in here. I wanted to at least get some type of workout in because it didn't feel like I was getting a workout for the 4 days that I went while I was back home in Central Illinois or North Central Illinois, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, it's just one of those things where everybody has to have a process. And for me, I have made the commitment to myself to be selfish that fitness is going to be something that I take serious and it's going to be part of my life. I can tell you, every day that I did not go to the gym while I was down there, I talked like a gym bro to where I'm like, you think there's a gym there? You think it's open? You think it's on creatine? You think there's a guy in the bathroom that's got some steroids to stab me in the butt with the needle? I'm asking all these questions, and Holly's like, if you need to go work out, just go work out. And I'm like, man, it's 8 o'clock. And she'll be like, are you making excuses? I'm like, yeah, I'm making excuses. but I've got 9,000 steps in. I'll be back in 10 minutes, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'll go get my 10,000, 12,000 steps. So, yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just...
And the great thing, we both have that wife that be like, oh, so you're going to be a little bitch right now? Is that what you're saying?
Literally.
Yeah, no, that's not what I was doing. I'm actually going to go, I might be going for like 3 hours. I'm not saying I'm going to the gym, but I'm not going to be here.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, she was fully supportive that when we were gone the entire time. And, like, even today I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to shoot a podcast with Chad because we haven't done one in 4 weeks. And then I'm going to get my lift in. It's a leg day, so it's going to be a little bit of a slow play for me.
Yep.
So I probably won't be home till 5:30, 6 o'clock. She's like, you take your time and you do what you have to do. Right?
Well, and that's the aspect of physical fitness that we don't talk about enough, right? Which is the mental aspect of it, right? And this is not me saying that you're depressed or anything like that, but grief is at times it can be happiness, it can be sadness, it can be anger, it can be all these things. And when we think about fitness, we think about the physical. But we also know that there's the mental aspect of fitness, the endorphin release, the endocrine system shift. There's all these things that we know it is 3 times more beneficial than any depression medication on the market. So I think it's a great thing that you're trying to just jump right back in. Some people might think you're fucking crazy. Oh man, this just happened, man, you need to take time with your family and you need to be away. It's like, no, I need to get back to some sense of normalcy.
And that might work for some people, right? But like for me, it doesn't. And it could have had a different effect as well. It could have actually accelerated the grieving process, right? Because I could have came in here and had some really terrible lifts, and mentally that would have just driven me down even further. And it might have actually sent me into that emotional tailspin where I would have just got my grieving process over with.
Yeah,
it could have done that.
It could have been a catalyst.
But my body has felt really good for only lifting 4 out of 16, 17 days. So my lifts this week have actually been fine. They've been pretty solid, And,
well, honestly, you probably got the break you needed.
Yep. And like my body has felt good. Now I was bitching about my neck. My neck is sore. My back hurts a little bit from the bed at home, but hopefully we'll get that remedied here shortly. But yeah, dude, if I were to just sit around and feel sorry for myself, which, let's be honest, nothing happened to me, right? Something happened around me, right?
And now you have to react to it.
Yes, right? So I can feel sorry for myself that my dad is no longer in pain. I can feel sorry for myself that my dog of 15 years is no longer in pain, right? Or I can realize, hey, you know what?
That my dad and my dog are no longer in pain.
They're no longer in pain. I will have a grieving moment. I will cry like a big baby. I'm 6'4", 260 pounds. I will still cry, right? But I can also realize that my dad would be angry if I let myself get back to a state that I had previously been in, right?
Yeah.
Because he has seen me go from the 410 pounds down to 245 pounds, and he knows that for me to be able to do that, it was a challenge, but it's something that he was proud of.
Yeah.
And never once did my dad ever say anything about my weight. Never once did my dad say, you're getting kind of big there, son. Never treated me any differently. But I can remember the first time he saw me without a shirt on, after I had gotten down to probably 250 pounds, he and my dad growing up in the 60s and 70s, they, hey, I'm not gay, son, but I want to let you know you look really good. I know you've lost a lot of weight, and I'm really proud of you, right? So it's like he understands that this is a very important aspect of my life, and so does my mom, right? So like, I told my mom, hey, I'm gonna leave my camper at your house. That way, when we're staying there, we have our own place so we can be separate but still together, right? Because we need that space. And I told her, I said, hey, I'm gonna come back every weekend, but I need you to understand that I'll either be back Friday night really late, or I'll be back Saturday mid-morning. The reason, because I have workouts that I need to do.
Yeah.
And my mom, who had just lost her partner of 47 years, right? She's like, yeah, you need to. You need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, right? And that's my attitude.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a beautiful thing, though, man.
Yeah. Like,
for someone to realize your boundary and your need to do something that is beneficial to you, that ultimately keeps you around longer for your children.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic that she understands that, right? Because, like I said, she just lost her partner, and my partner Holly, she's like, yeah, you need to make sure you go to the gym and get that frustration out, because like I don't need you walking around this house just moping. I'm like, oh, okay, like I remember that, like
Yeah.
you know. But all joking aside, it's the best thing for me. Like, and it's not for everybody. I get it. Some people need to just be with their family for a couple, 2-3 weeks. But for me, it's like I need to get back to my gym family, my gym routine. Otherwise, you know, those thoughts start setting in. It's like,
Yeah.
man, my body feels good. I'm not in pain. Why should I keep working out?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then on the flip side, I'm like, yeah, my body doesn't have aches from working out, but like,
But the other aches are coming.
yeah, like now it's been, you know, almost 3 weeks and almost 4 weeks. Sorry, my body is not moving like how I want it to move. So it's like, no, man, like that's the other side of the coin, right? So
Yeah.
I'd rather have the aches from. I mean, I can tell you, when I did a leg day on Monday, I'm going to do a leg day again today, and like it wasn't until yesterday where things weren't hurting from the hips down.
Yeah.
I wasn't walking like I just spent some time in prison there, so.
Yeah, every once in a while you do a hard leg day, you get stuck on the toilet for about 25 minutes. It happens. But yeah, man, I think it's nice, and I told you this when we talked Sunday or Monday, I think, and I asked you if you were
It was Sunday, yeah.
if you were coming back, and you were like, hey, you know, I'll be back tonight, I'll be back at the gym tomorrow. And I think my response was, great, man, it'll be great to have you back at the gym.
Yep.
Right? And I mean that, and because, you know, it's different for me, because obviously, like, generally the times you're here, I'm training other people.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can just be here hanging out. But it's a different energy for me as the gym owner, as the trainer, as the whatever. And I'm like, damn, Jeff ain't here. I can't crack that joke I wanted to crack, because Jeff would have been the only one that would have got it. And now I'm just sitting here laughing at myself, and I got like Elisa just looking at me like, yeah, man, that wasn't very funny. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go in the bathroom and cry now because my joke wasn't funny.
You finish your set. I'll be right back.
You finish your set. I'm gonna go. So no, man. I think it's, for me, man. And you know, you can take this however you like, but it's the energy you bring to the gym, and I think it's the energy you bring to the other people that is appreciative in this facility. That you are an integral part of the community here, and without you, it just felt like.
I appreciate
It just felt like it was like, that joke's not gonna land. Where's Jeff at when you need him?
And I appreciate that, dude. It really means a lot, and I know, you know, next week when I see some of the folks again, you know, I'll have that conversation. But hey, I apologize for last week when I was here.
And there he goes, fucking apologizing again. I don't understand what the equation is.
You know, I was just between myself and my feelings and whatnot, and there's a few times where people, I know they wanted to ask a question, and I just had that resting bitch face. But you know, we'll get through this weekend, and then next week when I see the regular gym folks, I'll just have that conversation. Let them know. Like,
well, and I can tell you that people notice things, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you I notice things. When you walk into my gym, and notoriously, you're not Mr. I'm too cool guy for school to not talk to nobody, and I see you come in with straight up shades, walk into the bathroom, I'm like, I'm gonna leave my guy alone today. He's working through some shit.
Yeah.
But then literally, I mean, we were all like, we sensed the energy shift, and right as soon as you left, I think it was Era, she pulled out her phone, and we saw the post about your dog, and I had already known. I already knew, but I'm not one to put nobody business out there. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing. And as soon as you walked out, Era showed Elisa the phone, was like, oh. And everybody instantly was like, oh my God, man, how much more can this guy get thrown at him? And
hopefully not a lot.
And you know, but that's the thing though, instantly, it wasn't a matter of like, oh man, Jeff's being an asshole today. Like everybody was concerned.
Yeah.
And that's what a real community is, you know, and that's what we should all strive to do in any community that we're in.
Yeah, dude.
And I think we're doing well at building that. Obviously, we want to build that up more here. But I think that everybody was more concerned about you, not so much like, oh, Jeff's not talking to me today. He must be being an asshole today.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but that's probably why I like Konquer Fit. And that's why when, and I don't know why we ever beat around the bush about this, but when you got the shaft from the other place, and we're going to say the shaft because they were a bunch of idiots, and you said, hey man, I'm gonna go do my own brick and mortar. I'm like, okay, like I'll be there, dude. And
Literally, that's what he said. I'll be there.
And that's why, when you said, hey man, I think this other spot's gonna work. I'm just gonna need some blood, sweat, and tears. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got you, man, because I like the environment. I like the people that are here, and my wife is going to be working out here as well. So I don't know, man. It's just there's something about this community that, for me, I've been successful, and more than just the physical aspect, right? I've made my own strides in growth, whether it's different views of the world, things like that, because you have a large demographic of women that work out here, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's me and 3 other guys, and you're one of them.
Yeah.
It's more than that.
It's more than that, but then it's a generalization, yeah.
But most of the people that are here when I'm working out are women, and I'm raising women, right? So for me, it's been really beneficial because I get to see how they perceive the world and how I'm raising my daughters. So, whether or not I have told them, I do value the friendships that I have here because it allows me to make sure that I'm instilling some of those things that they've talked to me about in my daughters, right? And so it has been nothing but beneficial for me to be here.
Yeah.
Right. And I can tell you, I also enjoy when I take a day off of work and I come here and work out. I get to see Brian or I get to see Connor, and we get to shoot the shit about the guy stuff, right?
So you get to have the guy moments.
Which,
like, I want a lightsaber. I want to go to war.
I was gonna say, it's not like, we're not talking about anything inappropriate. It's normally something dumb.
Right? Normally something stupid. Like, hey man, did you see that meme? Oh yeah, I sent it to you the other day. Like, okay, yeah, like we're here.
Dude, and like I'm not downplaying any other gym in the area. Like, if you find a gym that has a really good atmosphere, then I think you should stick to it, right? But that's why I like Konquer Fitness, because the atmosphere and the family that I've developed here allows me to come back from such a traumatic experience over the last month and then come right back into working out.
Absolutely. So we are going to try. I think maybe we should promise maybe once every couple weeks, at least.
Yeah.
But not maybe once every week to start off here. But we're gonna try to get back to you guys. We're gonna try to keep it moving. But definitely, if you guys have things you want us to talk about, shoot us a comment. We're always down to talk about something new. And until next time, guys, we will catch you on the flip side.
Just don't suck.